Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome and thank you for participating in community service. I am Al-Nazifah binti Abdul Rahim, student from Department of Engineering Foundation from Group CI009E28. So how are you, Alif? Alhamdulillah, good to hear that. So lucky for you to join this activity because I have already prepared you something or maybe new knowledge for you about computers. Okay, so before we start, I have a question to ask you. So do you know how communication between two computers happens?
No.
Okay, for that, inshallah, today you will learn something with me about it. So this is our topic, which is data transmission. So in this topic, this is two important things that you need to know. That in data transmission, you have network and also protocol. So what is network? Network is a medium to send information between computers, while protocols is a set of rules for exchanging electronic information. So you can just imagine you are on a highway. So during driving on the highway, so of course you will see some of the rules that you need to follow on the road. So this is how the network and protocol works together. Okay. So there are so many protocols, but the main set of protocols that I want to share with you is the TCP/IP protocols. TCP is stand for Transmission Control Protocol, while IP is stand for Internet Protocol. So these protocols helps to prepare data for transmission and provides for error checking and resending of lost data. Okay, so next, why protocol were developed and why we need this protocol? Okay, firstly, protocols allow communications between people around the world. And next, all common internet tasks follow same protocols. For example, we are using different devices, but we can still connect to each other right now because both of us using the same protocols. So next, okay, so protocol is an open system that made public for access by everyone. Okay, so before that, I forgot to say that the data can be your image, your video or file or anything that you want to share. So next, okay, so the first method that we use to transmit data is circuit switching. So in early 1960, the only technology that is available to transmit data is this one, which is circuit switching. So what is circuit switching? Switching is a method that requires a dedicated connection between two points. So, for example, this can be happen when we are calling someone by using the landline telephone. So during that time, the data will be sent through one path only. For example, you want to call me by using the landline telephone. So during this time, we are using a line that we reserve that line. So during that time, there are no other devices that can use that path to send any information. So this thing will be lead to the bandwidth wastage. So this is one of the disadvantages for us to use the circuit switching. Next, we have the other method, which is packet switching. So, packet switching is a new method or the solution for us to transmit data between two computers, because in computers, of course, we will send a big amount of data. So for example, this is your data, which is with the amount of 3 megabytes. So this data is not enough to be sent only in one data packet. So in packet switching, this data will be chunked into several data packets. So this data packet will be sent through the routers, and this router will be send your data packet to the destination. So for further explanation, you can watch the video that I have made. Now I will teaching. Did you know that computer only read any information in binary digit, or we can call as bytes? Here is my information that will be sent to your computer. Firstly, my information cannot fill in one data packet. So, they will be chunked into several data packets. So here we have 3 data packets, and each of them contain of source address, destination address, data that has been transmitted, and assembling instruction. Firstly, they will go to this router. Router is what we can assume as manager that control of each route for these data packets will be traveled to arrive to its destination. They will go to the different routes, depends on the router, and also depends on the traffic at that time. Even though they are going to the different routes, but they can also still arrive to your computer or to their destination. But they might not be in order when they arrive. So the assembling instruction that contains in the data packet will rearrange the data, and that's why your computer can read my information correctly. In this method, if any internet nodes are disabled or destroyed, for example, right here, all of this data can still be transmitted but in different routes, which is through the routes that's still active. So this is one of the benefits using packet switching instead of circuit switching in order to transmit data through two computers. Okay, so that's all for the video. I hope you're learning something by watching this video. Okay, in packet switching, for easy example for you to understand, you can just imagine that you want to send a letter to your old friend, but one letter is not enough for you, so you decided to send for about 3 letters. So you're writing in 3 different letters, and then of course when you have done writing your letters, you will send it to the post office. Then the postman will send your letters to your friend's house by using different routes. So when he receives the letters, so he will rearrange your letters so that he can read well in order. So this is how packet switching works. If you can apply it in our daily life. So that's the easy example for you to understand. So if you are overlooked just now, the data packet must be contains of firstly, it must have source address. Next, it must have destination address, the assembly instruction, and also the transmitted data. The third one, which is the reassembly instruction, is important because it helps to rearrange back the data that you send so that the computers or the destination computers will read your information well. So I think that's all about the two methods, which is the circuit switching and packet switching. Do you have any question to ask me?
I want to ask something. Based on these two methods, which is circuit switching and is there any possibility of keeping the data during transmission?
For that problem, um, it it might be have a possibility for packet switching to lose the data. Because what? Because in packet switching, we are using different routes. Instead of using circuit switching, we are only using a line, the dedicated line. So the possibility for the data to be lost in circuit switching is lower than packet switching. So as a user, what can we do to solve this problem? Of course, we cannot do anything, but the TCP/IP protocols that I have mentioned before this will help you or will help us to resend back the lost data, but it might take a few times. Uh, it might take a time. It might take a time for the data to reach to the destination. So I think I have answered your question.
I get it right now.
That's good. Okay. So I think before we end this meeting, I want to share you with a quote which is from the Matt Mullenweg, which is he says that technology is best when it brings people together. So I think I agree with this quote because technology is if we can use technology wisely, of course we can have the benefits. For example, if we have the family who live far away from us, we can still communicate or connect to each other and we can feel that we are close. So that's why we as a user, we need to use the technology wisely. So again, thank you for participating in community service and I hope you can learn something and also share this knowledge with the others. So thank you. Thank you for joining this activity.
Thank you too.
Welcome.